We're back. I'm Rob Riggle. With me, as always, is
Darren Leader.
Wow.
Yeah.
That just was so.
That was exciting. I did it. I finally did it.
That's the one you're going to stick with?
Okay, okay, one more time.
No.
No, watch. This is going to be awesome.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Riggle's Picks. I'm Rob Riggle. With me, as always, is
Darren Leader.
No, I like the other one better.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. We have a great show for you today. I'm so excited, personally, very, very excited, because I get to have a friend on the show, a real friend, someone who I enjoy.
I'm here.
And I'm so excited about that. That's going to be really fun. Nate Bargatze is going to be on the show. I honestly believe in my heart, the best stand-up comedian in the world today, pound for pound.
I think that that's evident by his crowd size, and I think it's evident by the guy is crushing.
Yeah. He's arena.
And I have a problem. My problem is I don't know, but I think you pronounce his name wrong. I say...
Shut your mouth.
What did you say it is?
Nate Bargatze.
I think it's Nate Bargatze. So...
You might be right. Okay, I will admit, like most Americans, and I'm not alone out there, I think most Americans will agree with me, it is confusing. It's either Bargatze or Bargatze.
Yeah.
And I don't know the proper way. The only person who knows is Nate himself, and we will put it to him. That will be our first question.
I think that should be, because it's going to establish who we're talking to.
This is important.
You know?
And I don't want to get it wrong. If I'm wrong, I don't want to be wrong. So I will. But if I'm right, you have to shave your head.
Okay, if I'm right,
yeah,
you have to shave your head.
I feel like that's a disadvantage. I feel like you're getting off.
No, I'll put it this way. I'll shave my head if I'm wrong, and I'll shave my head if I'm right.
Wow, there you go.
You know
that's
what I
all.
mean?
That's all I ask.
I'll tell you what. If you're wrong, you go faux hawk for the next episode. Faux hawk. Are we on?
I do love a good faux hawk.
Are we on?
Yeah.
Okay. You saw it, world. This is gonna be awesome. I can't wait. So we're gonna ask him his name.
Yeah, and then we got to ask. I got so many questions for him. By the way, Nate has been unbelievably gracious. He's a very gracious person. That's why. But he came to the Big Slick, charity event we do in Kansas City, for Children's Mercy Hospital, and he came to our big 10-year Big Slick, 10th anniversary, and did stand up, and absolutely destroyed the room. I mean, crushed it like he always does, but just crushed it, and is the most humble, easygoing guy. You wouldn't even know, he does comedy, but for the fact that he gets on stage and destroys every night.
He destroys comedy, and he golfs.
See, and this is why he's really piques our interest.
Yeah.
Is because Darren and I are golf.
You could say it. We're golf junkies.
Golf junkies.
Yeah.
Okay, we are. We're addicted to the game of golf.
Yeah.
We love it.
Uh-huh.
We obsess about it. We talk about it. It's part of our lifeblood.
It's the greatest game.
It is the greatest game.
I know.
And Nate, I think, is on par. There, I did it.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. He's on par with us for his love of the game.
That's the word on the street, but we're going to be getting to the bottom of that.
Good.
You and I are going to see how deep the love and addiction for golf goes.
Good. I like that a lot. I want to go. We haven't been using this. We have a stack of questions here. All right, professional questions.
Ooh, these guys?
Yeah. And I'm going to ask you, I'm going to draw here off the top of the deck.
Okay, talk to me.
Here's a question. What does humanity completely misunderstand?
Gravity.
Explain.
Well, everybody subscribes to this notion that gravity comes from the center of the earth.
Okay.
Right? But it doesn't.
Where does it come from?
It comes from the spirits in the sky.
Okay. Listen. That's and you think the world's wrong.
Yeah, I do.
And you think that's what they misunderstand, and you got that one right.
Yeah, but I sound like a crazy person by saying it. I recognize that.
Okay, good.
Right?
Good. I think what humanity misunderstands is they think these idiots think the world is round.
Yeah.
So that's about as dumb as you can get. It's obviously flat. We all know that. Otherwise, they wouldn't have a flat Earth society.
You cannot have a society based on something that's not
That's
real.
wackadoo.
Right.
Yeah.
And look, no matter what shape you think this place is, we may or may not even really be in it. How about that?
That's you got to smoke a tremendous amount of weed.
You know what? I'm going
to
change
get to that place.
I'm sorry. I'm going to change my answer.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to change my answer. Humanity doesn't understand the movie The Matrix.
And you think the Matrix is what? Why doesn't everybody understand?
It doesn't matter what I think because I'm just a battery. And you and Gary in there and everybody else seems to think that we're just all existing, right? That this is real. This table's real. Well, did you see The Matrix? Because it's not just a movie, it's a documentary.
You think the Matrix is a documentary?
The Wachowski brothers are not and sisters, are not filmmakers. They're documentarians.
Okay.
And they are trying to tell you, you're in a pod, bro. Like this right now.
Yeah.
This is a podcast, but you're just electricity.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I don't think humanity gets that.
Okay, that's interesting. Gary, I gotta put the question to you. What do you think humanity is misunderstanding?
I think Darren's misunderstanding the Matrix.
Okay, that's legit. I think you're not alone. I think a lot of people see that as an entertaining movie.
I think that what humanity is misunderstanding is that news is not always just purely news.
That's interesting.
Cool story, Gary.
You want to expand? You want to expand on that, Gary?
I'll leave it to people's interpretation.
I think that's what's actually causing the confusion.
That's
Gary.
like what Prince did with his name. He changed it to a symbol, and he went, I just think I'm going to leave that for people to figure out. So Gary, in essence, is a lot like Prince.
I'll say this. I want to change my answer now, too. I think what humanity misunderstands is Prince.
You have a strong argument.
You know what? I'm going to change my answer. It's Prince.
Okay.
That's the right answer.
That's the right answer.
Yeah.
All right.
God, you know, it took us a long way to get there. We went from gravity to
Flat Earth.
To Flat Earth, to the Matrix, to what was it, Gary?
News and then Prince.
To news, and now I think the answer is Prince.
Yeah, I'd like to change my answer as well. Prince.
Change?
Yeah, Prince all across the board.
I love that we can have these debates and nobody's like getting hot-headed or digging their heels in, and we all realize that Prince is the answer to every question.
Yeah. It all comes back.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. And most people, they're going to spend their days arguing and flailing about like a fish out of water, and they're going to eventually suffocate and die. Whereas we, in a very climate-controlled environment, have come up with the answer.
All you need is a little communication. And if the world just talked a little bit more, we'd be much better off.
I think I agree with you. I think if the world and people communicated more often, that would be great. And an alternative to that, too, is also just shut up and do what I say.
See,
that's another.
I get that.
Yeah.
That's how I feel often when we're doing these.
I feel this way. Like when we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
You want people to shut up.
Yeah, I wish that everybody else here who had a microphone would just
shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And be like, I'll just listen to Darren because he's got great ideas.
We are peas in a pod, my friend.
Yes.
Peas in a podcast. Because I feel the same way. I feel like everybody just shut up. Turn his mic off and shut him up.
Yeah. No, I get that, dude.
Yeah.
God, I get that.
That's awesome.
But mostly I feel that way about Gary.
Yeah, well, that's, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's universal.
I think everybody does.
I turned my mic off.
Okay.
Thank you, Gary.
Thank you, Gary. Listen, Nate.
We're going to call him Nate B right now.
Nate B up into hizzy.
Let's you know what? Let's stop fussing about.
Yeah.
And let's get the man himself.
I want to talk to Nate B. I want to get to the bottom of this. There's so many questions I have. He's got a lot going on.
Yeah.
Not just stand-up. He's got a lot going on
He's an
in
entrepreneur.
production. He's got a lot going on in the podcast world. So I'm very eager to talk to him today.
I can't wait to try my new comedy bit on him. It's only 45 minutes long.
Don't. He's a professional.
That's the perfect time.
He doesn't want solicitation. He's not soliciting. He doesn't want anything.
Can I tell him one?
No.
Okay.
Okay, test it on me. What is it? Is it a dad joke?
I got to think of my dad. Well, now you got me on the spot.
Okay.
I can't think of one.
Come back to it.
Okay.
In the meantime, Gary, will you please?
Wait. We're going to bring Nate B on, but we need to bring him on in the fashion that we've become accustomed to now. I'm going to give you a drum roll. Gary, I need you to come in hot and support this drum roll because Riggle's going to bring him on. Ready?
Gary, release the link! That's the Zoom link that we're sending out to our guests.
Gary, send
so
the
they
link.
can send the link so that we can get our guest on. Hey everybody, back at Riggle's Picks, and we've got the man himself, Nate Bargatze, joining us. And now, Nate, we've been going back and forth on this. So before we get started, I hate to do this to you.
Don't be offended.
Yeah, please don't be offended. But we've got to figure out the name situation. I say it's Nate Bargatze. He says it's Nate Bargatze. Can you help us?
It goes by both, but Rob is that's the way we say it.
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes! See,
Okay.
I knew it.
Look, that's cool that you guys
In
are
your face.
Hold
In
on,
your
hold on,
face.
dude.
Gary, in your face.
Hey,
Whoever else is out there in the booth, in their face.
it's not.
Yeah.
You're not coming off cool.
I'm the
right
best.
Now. I get what you guys are saying. I'm just saying that back in the day, it could have been Bargatze.
It's Gatsy. Look, it's Gatze.
I get that.
Gat, not Go. Thank you. Okay, but
I
you don't.
I think my family could say it wrong, to be honest. So
That's what I'm saying. We need to get to. We need
Yeah.
to go back a
We're
couple
not going.
generations.
We're not going to the roots. We're not going back.
Take
We're
it
not,
to the tree.
We're not taking it to the tree.
Take it to the tree. Let's go.
We're not doing that because I got it from the source himself, the man who's lived with this name his whole life. And the bet was, if I was wrong, I had to wear a faux hawk in the next episode, and he had to shave his head. But I think he had the better end of the deal.
yeah,
'Cause-
yeah.
Either way, it's a very nice name.
So
Thank
Nate, thanks for joining us. There's so much I want to cover. Darren is a 2 handicap.
I'm a 3.2.
He's a 3.2. He's a stick. You and I, you're probably
What are you?
working towards a 6 now, a 5 or a 6.
Yeah, I'm an 8 right now.
Yeah, see, he's
I feel like you're
squeezing in strokes.
sandbagging. I feel like that's
Yeah.
a little bit of a sandbag.
No, it just hasn't been cleaned up. I'm not. I don't get to play enough, and I'm like at the stage where like I really need to play and
Right.
like get. I just go from. We had on the road last week. We had there's a company that has a TrackMan that they bring in a trailer, and so we had that out at one of the shows. But it's like I do a lot of that, like a lot of TrackMan, or I played yesterday. It's just too inconsistent. It's just so I need to really get out there and start playing.
If you were consistent, if you were 3 times a week golfer,
With practice sessions in between.
you could be scratch in probably a month or 2. Probably is my guess. Because I played with you.
I
And your
think I
game,
could get it
your
down.
game is good.
Yeah.
You have a very good golf game. Very consistent.
What's the
Yeah,
best
I
part?
can get
What's-
it down. It's
Go ahead.
putting probably. Is probably my best part, and then I can scramble too. I can get around. Like I won't get in too much trouble. Like I just get stuck at like shooting a lot around the 80, like 81, 82, 83. Somewhere in that kind of world. And
Yeah.
I've shot even par twice. But that's what, like during COVID, that's when I was playing.
Yeah.
Is it a play lot during COVID?
During COVID, I got down to a 0.1, and I couldn't get to 0-0. And my best round is 2 under. And that was pretty legendary for me.
Was that at Rustic?
It was at Rustic Canyon,
Ugh.
and I had a birdie putt on 18 for a 69. And it was like an 18-foot putt, and I missed that sucker. I'm not even kidding, by an inch. And I was like, nah. So,
Well, I've actually played with Nate. Nate's quite a golfer, and we had the chance to play up in Tahoe. Did you like Tahoe, right? You liked that tournament.
I thought it was the best, dude. It's
Yeah.
so fun.
It's so fun, but the first couple times you play it, it's very stressful because you want to play your best golf, and then you realize, it's too much because the nights are long, the days are long. By the time you get to Sunday,
Yeah.
you're just worn out. You're just worn out. There's nothing you can do about it.
what's
Yeah,
your
it's
favorite?
it's tough. Well, it's hard to not double bogey a hole when you think all you're thinking is like, all I have to do is not double bogey this hole.
That's kiss of death right there.
It's the kiss. But double bogey's minus 2 points, and so everything else doesn't matter. And
Yeah.
then every shot, you're like, just don't double bogey it, and then you get yourself in some nice trouble.
Yeah.
Not double.
It's like when you go into a skid. You're supposed to look away from the wall, but if you look in the wall, you're going in the wall.
It's the weirdest, and that's the thing about golf. So many of us amateurs focus on what not to do. There's trees down the right. Just stay left, stay left, stay. And inevitably, you do what you have told yourself not to do. Yeah. And what I've heard from really good golfers is you just focus on not what you're not supposed to do, but what you want to do.
Yeah.
That's, and
yeah, but when there's a gallery of 60,000 people screaming, you lose all track of focus. That doesn't exist anymore.
That's a lot. What's your favorite golf course?
Man, I've played it so many. I'm a big Whistling Straits fan. I've played it there only once, but I really, really enjoyed it. And Pebble, obviously, because it's Pebble. Yeah. Those are probably some of the top two. I mean, I played Sage Valley, and that course is pretty special. And
absolutely.
But yeah, that's what I wanted to do, is get my game down to a point where you can then also appreciate the course. Because sometimes you can be out there and you're like, I'm not looking at what this guy's doing, or it's all this big design, and it's like that bunker's put there for a reason, and I'm like topping it in front of the tee box, and you're like, I don't even see the bunker, because you're like, I'm hitting a pitching wedge over the bunker by the time I get there, just to clear it. So,
I got a chance to play Riviera, right, for my very first time, and I don't remember holes 1 through 5 because I was like playing. But I was like, I'm at Riviera. This is the shot that I saw Tiger. Yeah. And it took me 5 holes before I went, wait a minute, I'm playing golf.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of that. It's overwhelming. Some of these courses are so beautiful that you get caught up in the history of them or the beauty of them.
Well, and some of those courses, like you said, you watched your whole life.
Yeah.
It's like if I played Augusta, I would hire a film crew. They'd have to come and follow me around. I think that would be.
That's what I thought with Pebble. When I played Pebble for the first time, it's like, because I played it on Tiger Woods Golf, on the video game.
That's right.
And then so you just know every hole, because I've played it on that, 1,000 times on a video game. But so it's like surreal to be out there and be like, But of course, in the video game, you're like, I would hit it over these trees, and then you get out there and you're like, let's not do that.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
We're going to be laying up.
So,
here.
Are you on the road right now? Nate, are you out on the road?
I'm in Portland, Maine.
How's that going?
We just got here. It's going great. I've been here before. This town is like, people love this town. I love it too. I mean, it's one of those towns that that's like a smaller town. It's right on the water and all that stuff. And we're here. We got Portland, Maine, Rochester, and then Radio City. Saturday.
Congratulations. That's a landmark. That's kind of one of those Carnegie Hall moments. Playing Radio City Music Hall that's epic. That's really cool, man.
It's wild. It's wild. So
when you're out there, are you like hubbing from a certain hotel and flying, or are you on a bus?
We have a bus, and we're in a hotel here because we're here 2 nights. So I'll be in a hotel these 2 nights. Rochester's probably no hotel, and in New York we have a hotel because it's 2 nights too. So it depends if it's like that. It's a lot of times you're just on the bus and you just park in the back and you just hang out. Then you're leaving in the middle of the night, wake up in the next town.
Right.
So tell me about the fall colors up in Maine right now. Are they beautiful?
I can just see buildings right now, but I mean, there's a couple trees I see. They look nice.
Are they turning? Are they changing?
You know what? I was in Salt Lake City last week and they were turning, and I could see that.
Good. So did you see our mutual friend Rich when you were out in Salt Lake?
I did not see Rich. He was at the Ryder Cup.
Okay.
But I did golf with Tony Finau. So.
Oh my gosh! Cool.
My question for you: watching that 3/4 swing and all that power, how awesome is it to watch and hear him hit the ball?
It's the best. So my buddy Joe Zimmerman was golfing with us. He's a very funny comic. I directed his special. It just came out on YouTube. It's on YouTube right now.
Awesome.
On my YouTube channel. But Joe played golf at Davidson. So Joe's a good golfer. And so we were talking about his irons. And we were like, oh, I bet it's he was worried like his irons were like dead. Like they just sounded weird. And so I was like, well, we'll get Tony to hit it. And then he can tell you if something's wrong. So we get Tony to I just asked Tony, I was like, hey, hit his like 7-iron to see if it's how it feels. And Tony's like, I mean, irons don't really go bad. But he's like, all right. I mean, takes one swing, hits it 240.
Oh my God.
Joe's 7-iron just like we never heard it sound like that. And he was just like, yeah, they're good, dude. Like
wait, a 7-iron 240?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's
they go,
psycho.
I mean, and it was like just flush, just a perfect, and we've been playing all day. It's just he did one swing with someone else's club. It's just gave him back.
It's fascinating when you hear a pro hit a
Oh,
golf
yeah.
ball.
It's different.
It's completely different.
It
I
is.
don't know how they do it. It's why they're pros, but it's just a different. Like you feel the air around the ball compress, and like it's just different.
So I bet Jim then was a little defeated because there were no more excuses.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah. Oh, Joe. Sorry, Joe.
You got his name wrong.
Yeah. Jim.
He's pointless. He goes, what is Tommy? He goes, oh, Tommy boy over there. He was pretty upset. I'm like, Rob, I don't know who you're talking about anymore. So.
The Larry guy from Davidson. Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
Sorry, Joe. Sorry.
Yeah.
My apologies to Joe. Joe Zimmerman.
Joe Zimmerman. Oh.
See?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I got half.
So you said you have a
You're a
YouTube.
last man guy.
That's me. I'm a last name guy.
Your YouTube channel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's talk
Nate
about that.
Land.
I want to talk about this because you got Nate
Nate
Land. Nate Land Productions. You obviously have your podcast, which is killer. I love watching it. You have a great group of guys. So fun to watch you guys talk and just shoot the breeze. I love being a fly. It feels like you're a fly on the wall and hanging out with friends. It's really fun. But you've got all this other production. You kind of have a new mission, a new directive, I guess. You're kind of making more family-friendly content. Is that kind of the vibe, or what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, my comedy's obviously clean, and so that's how I've always started. And it's not like you're trying to make stuff comedy, really for kids or for anything. Right. It's just we're basically not cursing, and and so I have people that come to my shows that are, it's all ages. It can be 10-year-olds, it can be grandparents, and all families come out to stuff. And so the idea of it is what we've done with even the specials is like Joe Zimmerman, Mike Vecchione, Greg Warren. These are comics that have been around for a long time, and they've not always all necessarily been clean comedians, but they've basically been clean. Yeah. And so I look at a lot of that where you're like, look, a lot of these comics, if you can just give me a clean set, like the sets we had to do on TV, like TV clean sets, then we can really push it and then introduce comedy to this big audience that I think sometimes people think comedy is just one way, like being dirty or whatever it is. And, just showing this other side of it. And so that's the plan. And then hopefully make, you can get to movies or TV, whatever it can lead to, but, become a bigger thing.
So is Nate Land, is what you're describing, is that part of this, the show, the showcase you're doing?
Yes. So the showcase we just put out too as well was 6 comics. We're doing 6 episodes, and it's 3 comics an episode. And I had my podcast guys host it, and it's just introducing comics. Again, finding comics that can do I had to do Live at Gotham, like all the TV sets we had to do coming up, where you had to do clean sets or late night sets. And so it's trying to just kind of redo that and just being like, all right, just give me a 8-minute set or whatever of clean comedy that has to be on TV, and and just going back there. And we got a lot of great comics on it. We have I think it might be like 18 comics or something was on it. So, but just very, very funny and just introducing. So hopefully more people know stand-up is becoming its own world now. Yeah. It's becoming a big thing. The Golden Globes put it as an award this year. And so stand-up is starting to become its own thing.
Good.
So it's like,
it's overdue.
I have a question for you, Nate. When you were coming up and figuring out what kind of comedy, you wanted to do, or that turned you on, or you saw was getting reaction, was it a conscious effort for you from the beginning to go, not super, super dirty, or was it just natural for you?
It was natural. That it's the way I grew up. I'm from the South. Christian family, like, so we just grew up not allowed to watch much and seeing that. And so, I mean, I always did stuff where I just didn't want my parents to be mad at me. And I still do stuff where I just don't want them to be mad at me. And so it's just the way I was and the way I started. And when I was in New York, it was, but no one ever cares. You really learn that your goal as a clean comedian a lot of times is for people not to even really notice it. Yeah. And then they, afterwards are like, oh, I didn't realize that was like clean. And that's the stuff I want to do with going forward with the clean comedy, is just being like, that's a side thing, that's what we're happening to be. So the people that do want that can be there for that reason. Yes. But it's not like that's the super specific goal. I mean, I think you can make a Die Hard movie and you could just make stuff, it's a lot of how old movies were, where they weren't all
just funny, actually funny.
Yeah. It was just funny. And it was just like, it's just kind of going back and doing it a little bit, kind of the old way.
Yeah. No, I absolutely love it. And hearing you talk about it too, with your parents and things like that, because you have some great bits in there where you're talking about, your sister buying wine and the not cussing him. I absolutely love it. You have so many good bits. He came in, by the way, I don't know if you know this, Nate came to Big Slick.
Yeah.
And did a set that just destroyed the room. I mean, we were at the T-Mobile Center. I mean, there was like 6,000 people, and I've never heard the place louder. And by the way, thank you for that, Nate. Thanks for coming out to that. That meant a lot to everybody who was involved, and we raised a lot of money for Children's Mercy that day. So, and Nate was a big part of that, the success of that day. So
I was the biggest. They said I was the biggest part of it.
Well, I mean, they did, and
that's what I think they said.
And again, I'm just reiterating that, and it is documented. We did make sure it's documented. The plaque is on the T-Mobile Center. We did all of the things you requested, so it's done. But no, I do agree with you. And I used to do stand up too, and I remember the club version sometimes versus the late nights. Or when you do a Comedy Central special, or you had to clean it up. So it can be done, and it can be done well.
And funny is funny. I mean, funny is funny, whether it's clean or dirty.
Yeah, your Serpentarium story is still one of my favorite stories of all time. I could listen to that over and over. And by the way, when you're on tour now, do you have people, scream out? Because I remember talking to Jim Gaffigan one time, and we were just, shooting the breeze, and I was like, do you get people yelling out like their favorite hits and they want to hear them? Like literally just yelling out, do the Hot Pockets or whatever it was for Jim. But do you get that a lot?
Yeah. They yell out a lot. Like I have a dead horse, or they yell out stuff. I have a joke, Olivia, where I tell her I went golfing and took my shirt off, changing my shirt in the parking lot, and this old man thought I was his wife. And so he called me. He just said, Olivia. And then I had to turn around, and it's like me, like, so I have a body like an old lady, like his wife. He thought I was his wife with no shirt on. So I've had people yell that joke, and it's funny because they're like, Olivia, and you're like, well, Olivia that's the main part of the joke. The punchline is the word, the name Olivia.
Yeah. So
you're just kind of yelling. I don't really ever do them. Honestly, you forget them, because when you have to create a new hour, your brain goes into this new mode. Yes. And then, so a lot of them I couldn't even really do, because I just wouldn't remember it's hard for me to remember how they went.
Yeah. And you have such a unique style. I love the tempo and the way you tell your stories. It's the most satisfying thing in the world. And some of your best stories are about your wife and the frustrations of either being left at the golf course or not giving you an answer about a flight time, or, there's so many great bits. Is she pretty good about that, playing along and having fun with that?
Yeah. Good. Yeah, she does. She's great with it. I mean, I think a big part of that is we have been together before I ever started comedy. So she's been along for this the whole time. And I think that really matters, and that plays into it. And, so it just really helped with that. And then, and I try to, everything you do, I'm the butt of so much of my material. So you got to show love during it. It's like writing a TV show or a movie. You got to show there's love, or people are not going to buy on. And that was something I had to learn how to do early on. But she's great with it.
That's awesome. Well, those are some of the best stories. I can't get enough. You're my favorite comedian by far, And I always enjoy watching you. I look forward to getting the memes every day on my feed just to see the new clip or whatever. You know, I can't get enough. Being at the top, and I consider you the biggest comedian in the world right now. Do you? I mean, you've got to be the people have got to be knocking on your door for TV and film. Is that something that interests you?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely always being talked about. I mean, you know, it's like I try to do it. You know, I wrote a TV show and sold a TV show for like 10 years that never went and all this. So you just got to go through that whole cycle of that world. And I mean, we're definitely talking about it now with the Nateland company. It's like that side of the stuff. I'm not really. I haven't. I shot a pilot once, but it's like I don't have acting. I don't have you don't have this like world that's outside of just stand up. So I'm definitely looking into try to getting that going and that side going more. So yeah, I mean, we're trying to figure it out now. But I mean, with stand up, I just want to continue to make sure. You know, I got this tour I'm on now. Then I'll probably take a break. More, you know, maybe a year break somewhat, and then plan for like a big 2025 tour. So, but yeah, I do want to create this other stuff that's not just this stand up and can dive into this other world.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Hey, listen, man, it's always a pleasure talking to you. It's always a pleasure seeing you. I always look forward to any time I get with you, golf especially. So we'll have to make a plan. When you're on the West Coast, come play. We've got great places to play out here. I'd love to play with you.
I mean, yeah, anytime, dude. I do. I love when we get to hang out. It's the best. We had a lot of fun. I was so glad you were there.
Yeah.
Just because me and you are such good friends. Like, and I don't know, you don't know everybody, so you're just like happy to be. Yeah, like have a guy that you're like, all right, you and like Cable Guy, and you're like, all right, I know him.
Cable Guy was so nice to me my first year there, and he was very gracious and kind of told me things, and I was like, oh, okay, great. So I absolutely agree. It's nice, and then each year just gets better and better. It's more fun. It's almost like a reunion. It's bizarre. It's really fun. Yeah. So
it is great.
Well, keep up the good work, man. And by the way, so you can, obviously Instagram, Nate Bargatze. His latest special is out on Amazon Prime right now.
Hello World.
Hello World. And you're on a tour right now to Be Funny, the Be Funny tour. Sorry, the Be Funny tour, which is outstanding.
And all the dates are on natebargatze.com, right?
That's right. Cool.
Yeah.
And also Nateland.
We'll be announcing soon for the beginning of 24. So.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And by the way, sincerely, congratulations and break a leg at Radio City Music Hall. That's a landmark moment. So congrats.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Good to see you,
Nice to talk
Nate.
with you. Good to meet you.
Yeah. See you guys.
Thanks, man.
Awesome,
what a
dude.
stud.
I know.
What a stud.
Hey, thanks, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you're the best, Rob. All right,
Awesome.
I'll hit you up.
All right, good to see you. All right, bye now.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask him the question.
It's okay. I thought that was really good, man. You know, we got the important stuff.
Yeah.
We got the real stuff.
We did. And he is so crazy talented. He is crazy talented.
You know what's nice? What's nice is like he's the same in the interview. He's the same in the chat. He's the same when the interview goes off as he is on stage. And you're like, it's authentic.
He's sincere.
Yeah.
And funny.
I love that he's still afraid of his parents.
I played golf with him on that one day, and I wish I could remember what it was. But we were watching the news, and the newscaster said something, and then he piped in and kind of did this bit on it. I laughed out loud. I never laughed that hard.
That's awesome.
And it was just a throwaway line, made me die laughing. Anyway, he's super talented. Gary, tell me did you record that whole interview?
I'm supposed to record things?
Jesus Christ.
Okay. This is going to be.
This is not. Do you see what I'm up against now?
Every day, yeah.
Did you hit the record button when Nate came on?
I absolutely did, because
Yes.
Nate is one of the best in the game, and I respect him immensely. I didn't want to miss anything from that interview. That was great.
Why don't you marry him, Gary?
Smoked.
Try to stop me?
Smoked. You got what?
I guess, you know what? I guess you can.
Yeah, I guess you can. And by the way,
I tell you what.
Yeah.
I won't leave him to play 4 holes with just his driver.
right there.
And if you don't
He
get,
knows his material.
Gary's
if you know,
gonna-
you know.
Gary's going to make a good wife.
If you don't get that, Google Nate Bargatze golf and enjoy 3.5 very funny minutes as we did this morning.
Or Nate Bargatze.
It's Gatsy. By the way, totally won. He's got to shave his head. Sucker.
Not cool.
Sucker MC. Friends, this has been Riggle's Picks, and Darren Leader, Rob Riggle, Gary Smith, handling our business here at Riggle's Picks.
You did great today. I think
I did, or Nate?
you did great.
I did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with, your inability to be good.
Thank you.
So great job.
I'll take that compliment.
You should.
That was a compliment. Gary?
Darren, I think you did great as well. So I'd just like to say that on the record. So great job for you as well.
Thank you, Gary. You did a job too.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's probably more than I deserve, so I'll graciously accept
That's not
that.
true. Gary works hard.
Gary
He's always
kicks
behind this.
ass.
Gary kicks ass. Good job, Gary.
Thanks, guys.
Nice work today. Thank you for joining us on Riggle's Picks. We will see you next time with some hot interviews and some hot licks.
Bow, 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 bow.